I did that. I'd go to NC State or wherever, North Carolina Central University, and I would read the study. And several years ago, there was a little study and Newsweek took it and they said, is this child gay? So teach your students to go look at the methodology. This is based on a study where the recruits were taken from back then, the gay pride thing in Chicago. So you have a biased sample. And just teach them to ask questions. First off, they did it on the biased sample. Second, the media did not understand statistics. So they misinterpreted what the study actually found. But the other thing you always ask about a study is, was it replicated? This study was replicated, so it's a twin study. And what they found was a number of identical twins. This one's gay and this one's gay. But it's interesting, they're identical, and how many weren't? And the majority weren't. And if you really think about the study, you kind of disproved your hypothesis. But they didn't take it that way. But then you go through and study it in a different way. They did this in Australia because they had a big twin sample, and the findings is clear. No, when you're looking at all these pairs, it didn't turn out. That was never published. This is all you hear about. Look at the data yourself. Was it replicated? Who was in the sample? And what did they actually find? Now, you're here, I want to talk about transgender, and then Angie's going to help me talk about, we're going to look at gay and lesbian. You're hearing a lot about science says. Real science does not say the things people say that it says. So first I'm going to point out to you the DSM. This is the DSM-5 TR. It was published 1 year ago and about 2 months ago, right? So the TR says less than 0.1% of the population has been assessed to struggle with gender dysphoria. You want to know that when I was coming along, gender identity disorder is what we call gender dysphoria today. And some people are like, oh, they took gender identity disorder out of the DSM. It doesn't matter. It says the same thing. It says the same thing. So what you want to do is look and say, number one, it's still in the DSM, right? Imagine the pressure that's been put on them to take that out. They changed words, and they've changed some on the TR, but it's still there, okay? The next thing you want to know, how many people? And this is the gold standard in science, very few. And you always want to do this, right? So they talk about intersex. How many people? And this is where someone has published an article saying where it's been overestimated. They go back and describe how inaccurate that is. So always ask that. Now I will point out, if you go to the DSM right now, you're going to see that you still have